Welcome back to our mathematics series. We've been exploring some really fascinating mathematical concepts, and today we're diving into something that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about traffic.
What's that?
It's called Brace's paradox.
Brace's paradox.
You've probably heard the saying, more is always better, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, when it comes to roads, that's not necessarily true.
Really? I would think more roads is always good, right? I mean, less traffic.
That's what you'd think, but Brace's paradox shows that adding roads to a network can actually worsen overall traffic flow.
So how is that even possible? More roads equal more traffic.
It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Let's imagine a scenario with 4,000 drivers trying to get from point A to point B.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
If you look at the diagram in the show notes, you'll see a simple road network. Without any shortcuts, the travel time is balanced.
Okay.
Half the drivers take the upper route and the other half take the lower route.
So everyone's kind of experiencing the same travel time.
Yeah, roughly the same.
Makes sense.
But then a shortcut is introduced.
Ooh, a shortcut.
A shiny new road connecting the two routes, seemingly offering a faster way to reach the destination.
That sounds great. Who wouldn't want to take a shortcut?
Exactly. You can almost picture drivers rejoicing at the thought of shaving off precious minutes from their commutes.
I know I would be.
And initially, it does work that way. Some drivers notice this new route and decide to give it a try.
Makes sense.
It's shorter, so naturally they get to their destination faster.
So far, so good.
But here's where things get interesting. As more and more drivers flock to the shortcut,
Yeah, what happens?
it becomes congested. Think of it like a funnel.
A funnel, okay.
A large amount of traffic is being forced through a narrow passage.
Ah, I see. So it gets backed up.
Right. And the increased traffic on the shortcut starts to spill over and affect the travel times on the original routes, making them slower as well.
So the shortcut makes everything slower.
Yeah, the shortcut, which initially seemed like a solution, actually ends up creating a bottleneck, slowing down the entire network.
Wow, that's incredible.
It really is. It makes you wonder, how does this play out in the real world? Are there any actual examples where this paradox has been observed?
There are. One of the most striking examples is the removal of a major expressway in Seoul, South Korea.
Oh, in Seoul.
Yes, in 2003, they demolished a 6-lane elevated highway that cut right through the heart of the city.
I imagine there must have been a lot of pushback against that decision. Weren't people worried that removing a major artery would cause traffic chaos?
You would think so, right? But the results were quite surprising.
Really? What happened?
After the expressway's removal, traffic flow in the city actually improved, commute times decreased, and the city saw a significant reduction in congestion.
So it's like sometimes less is more.
It was a real-world demonstration of Brace's paradox in action.
That's amazing. Are there any other examples that highlight the paradox's real-world implications?
Yeah, a similar situation occurred in Stuttgart, Germany.
Oh, what happened there?
They built a new road section expecting to improve traffic flow.
Damn.
The opposite happened. It wasn't until they closed that newly built section that the traffic situation improved.
It's almost like a mathematical prank. The solution that seems obvious can sometimes worsen the problem. These real-world examples really bring the paradox to life. But I'm curious, how does the math actually explain this counterintuitive phenomenon? I know some of our listeners might have a basic understanding of game theory.
Game theory plays a crucial role in understanding Brace's paradox.
How so?
The key concept here is the Nash equilibrium.
The Nash equilibrium. Okay.
It's a state where no player can improve their outcome by unilaterally changing their strategy, assuming the other player's strategies remain unchanged.
So in the context of traffic, each driver is a player, and their strategy is choosing the route they believe will get them to their destination fastest.
Exactly. At the Nash equilibrium, each driver has chosen what they believe is the best route, given the choices of all other drivers.
But
However, this individually optimal behavior often leads to a collectively suboptimal outcome.
meaning that everyone ends up stuck in traffic because no one sees a better alternative for themselves, even though the overall system would be more efficient if they cooperated and distributed themselves differently across the routes.
Exactly. And the mathematical models behind Brace's paradox, particularly those involving linear travel time functions, demonstrate that adding a shortcut can sometimes shift the Nash equilibrium to a state where traffic flow is worse than it was before the shortcut existed.
I remember you mentioning linear travel time functions earlier. Can you elaborate on what they are and how they relate to the paradox?
Imagine a highway where adding one more car increases everyone's travel time by the same amount.
Okay,
That's an example of a linear travel time function.
got it.
In these systems, the impact of adding a shortcut can be easily amplified, leading to the paradoxical outcome we've been discussing.
So in essence, Brace's paradox exposes a fundamental flaw in our assumption that adding more options always leads to better results.
It's a fascinating reminder that complex systems, like traffic networks, don't always behave in predictable ways.
This is all incredibly interesting, but I have to ask, is Brace's paradox limited to traffic?
Not at all.
What's fascinating here is that it pops us in some pretty unexpected places.
Yeah, it's not just traffic.
Like where? Tell me more.
Researchers have actually found evidence of it in power grids.
Power grids, how does that even work?
Well, you've got these decentralized power grids with multiple sources of energy generation.
Right, connected through a network of transmission lines?
Exactly, and you'd think adding more connections would improve efficiency, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Better distribution and all.
You'd think so, but just like adding a shortcut to a road, adding more connections to a power grid can sometimes create unintended consequences.
How so?
Well, if too much power flows through certain connections,
What happens?
it can overload those lines, causing blackouts or disruptions in other parts of the network.
So even in a system designed to distribute energy, adding more links can backfire.
It's crazy, right?
It really is. Are there any other surprising areas where this paradox might be relevant?
Believe it or not, researchers have even explored its potential applications in biology.
Biology?
Yeah, specifically in food webs.
Interesting.
They suggest that removing parts of a perturbed network might actually help its overall function.
Wait, so removing something from an ecosystem can actually benefit it?
It's counterintuitive, I know, but think about it. Imagine a food web where a certain species has been significantly impacted, maybe due to disease or habitat loss.
Okay.
The decline of that species can have cascading effects throughout the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, I see that.
Removing a key species might seem detrimental, but in some cases, it could prevent further disruptions and help stabilize the overall network.
So it's like a strategic removal to mitigate negative impacts. It's still being explored, but it highlights the unexpected ways this paradox can apply to complex systems.
That's amazing.
And I have another analogy that might help. Think about a basketball team. Okay, basketball, I like where this is going.
You got a star player who's incredibly talented and skilled at scoring.
They seem like the solution to all the team's problems, the key to winning every game.
Right, but if that player dominates the ball too much, constantly taking shots, neglecting their teammates,
What happens?
it can hinder the team's overall performance.
So even a star player can become a bottleneck.
Their individual brilliance, if not properly balanced, can lead to a less efficient outcome for the entire team.
So even in basketball, understanding network dynamics and unintended consequences is crucial.
Exactly.
So Brace's paradox isn't just some abstract mathematical theory. It has real-world implications.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder that we need to think critically about how we approach solutions to complex problems.
The most obvious answer isn't always the best one.
Nope, and it's essential to consider the potential for unintended consequences, especially when dealing with interconnected systems.
Before we wrap up, let's recap the key takeaways for our listeners today.
Okay, sounds good.
What are the most important things we want them to remember?
Well, first and foremost, Brace's paradox teaches us that adding something seemingly beneficial, like a road to a transportation network or a connection to a power grid, can sometimes lead to a worse outcome.
It's definitely counterintuitive.
It is, but the mathematical principles behind it and the real-world examples we've discussed demonstrate that it's something we need to take seriously.
What else should our listeners take away from our discussion?
It's also important to remember that Brace's paradox isn't limited to traffic. We've seen how it can apply to diverse fields, from power grids and biology to even basketball.
It shows that these systems are interconnected, and we need to think holistically when trying to improve them. And probably the most important takeaway is that we need to be mindful of the potential for unintended consequences when making changes to these systems. It's a call for a more cautious and thoughtful approach to problem solving, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of things and the often unpredictable nature of complex systems.
Well said. It's about acknowledging that our actions, even those with the best intentions, can sometimes have unforeseen and undesirable effects.
So what does this all mean for us? What practical advice can we offer our listeners who are now grappling with the implications of Brace's paradox in their own lives?
Well, I think the most important thing is to just be aware of the paradox and its potential to impact the systems we interact with on a daily basis. Whether it's choosing a route for our commute, supporting policies related to infrastructure development, or even making decisions within our own organizations, it's crucial to consider the broader implications of our choices.
We can't always rely on intuition or conventional wisdom when dealing with complex systems.
Definitely not.
We need to question our assumptions, consider alternative perspectives, and be open to the possibility that sometimes less is more.
Brace's paradox offers a valuable lesson in humility.
How so?
It teaches us that we don't always have all the answers, and that even our best efforts to improve things can sometimes backfire.
So, as we conclude our exploration of Brace's paradox, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, what's that?
What other systems in your life might be affected by this paradox? Could removing something, whether it's a physical road or a metaphorical shortcut, actually lead to improvement? I encourage you to consider this question in your own lives and the systems you interact with.
It's a challenge to think differently, to question our assumptions, and to consider that sometimes less can truly be more.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into Brace's paradox. It really challenges our assumptions about how systems work.
It does, and it highlights the importance of careful consideration and analysis when dealing with these complex networks.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through the sometimes perplexing world of mathematics. We hope you found this deep dive into Brace's paradox enlightening.
Always a pleasure to explore these thought-provoking mathematical concepts with you and our listeners.
Now, for those of you eager to continue this mathematical adventure with us, we have another intriguing topic lined up for our next installment.
Oh yeah, what's next?
In our next episode, we'll be tackling a concept that often trips people up, the Monty Hall problem,
Ah, the classic game show scenario.
the one that seems to defy all logic. Get ready to have your understanding of probability put to the test.
It's a perfect example of how our intuition can sometimes lead us astray, and how a little bit of mathematical reasoning can reveal some surprising truths.
So if you enjoyed our deep dive into Brace's paradox, be sure to join us next time as we unravel the mysteries of the Monty Hall problem.
Until then, keep those minds curious and stay tuned for more fascinating explorations in the world of mathematics.